everyone, it is Dani'i and welcome to this updates video. I trust and hope that you've had an amazing week. It's the end of another week and I hope your weekend is going great so far. Now, we are going to be taking a look at what is going on in terms of weather conditions across the Atlantic, with focus being on the Caribbean, of course, and we'll also delve into the seismic update for the region. So we'll be looking at the most recent earthquakes of the past day or so across the region. Now, we're going to kickstart with the seismicity, and as we take a look at this graphic here, we see all of these pins to show the epicenters of all the recent earthquakes. This map is up to the last 24 hours or so from when I'm recording this video, and we see pretty much a lot of light to moderate quakes within the vicinity of Central America towards the Pacific side, and those red lines you see indicate the main fault lines within the region. We've also had a few within the Caribbean Sea, and there was that one right there is likely an aftershock of that 7.6 which happened last weekend. And this is nothing weird to see or strange to see, because I mean, aftershocks can continue hours, days, weeks, sometimes even months or years after the main shock. So it's just those earthquakes that happen within that same general area related to that earthquake sequence. So that most recent earthquake was yesterday afternoon, magnitude 4.14 estimated magnitude there. And also the west of Tobago, there was an estimated magnitude 3.3 this morning. Pretty minor earthquake, and of course a few within the vicinity of Puerto Rico. Nothing crazy to see. This area is typically active with very minor quakes, usually magnitude 3 or below that. A couple of times, of course, there'll be magnitudes that are a bit stronger. And then, of course, we occasionally get some more significant quakes within the region, but there hasn't been anything crazy going on this week. So that is it in terms of the seismicity. Again, the Caribbean is a very active zone. We pretty much tend to get earthquakes within the region frequently, especially the more minor quakes. But in terms of weather activity, now this is a look at the region on the infrared weather satellite. So we've definitely got those trade winds, of course, those winds that blow from east to west coming in, bringing with them these patches of moisture. We can see these different clouds here. Moving towards across parts of the Bahamas, offshore the Turks and Caicos, the Greater Antilles in a few spots, Lesser Antilles as well, ABC Islands, and we can see a bit more action towards the vicinity of Central America. So this is nothing crazy to see, kind of typical. However, there may be a little bit more rain than normal over the coming week or two for parts of the region. We'll delve into the latest update from the Climate Prediction Center in a moment, but this is what the rainfall forecast is looking like as we're going to be heading to the next day or so, heading to early tomorrow afternoon. And between now and then, there could be a bit of substantial rain within parts of South America, such as Colombia, southern Venezuela, parts of the Guyanas as well. ABC Islands, again, those patches of clouds are coming in. They can result in some intermittent rainfall in a few spots. Same thing for Lesser Antilles. Even as we head up to the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, a couple spots in Jamaica, especially our eastern parishes, may experience a bit of rainfall today. Things will be on the dry side for most of Cuba and the Cayman Islands. And then as we head towards parts of Central America, there could be a bit of action within some areas, maybe a few passing showers. Again, nothing crazy. We are in the dry season, so we're not going to be anticipating anything significant. Up to the Bahamas, especially the northern Bahamas, things will be on the dry side. Same thing for much of the Florida Peninsula over the next day or so. Now, as I mentioned, the Climate Prediction Center, this is the latest look at the update. So this update was on Tuesday. So each Tuesday there is an update in terms of the probability of above or below average rain, above or below average temperatures, and even tropical cyclone probability. Of course, we're not in the hurricane season. That kickstarts in just a couple of months, but other parts of the world active. But we are focusing on the Western Hemisphere over towards the Atlantic. And as we take a look here, now this is the graphic for the week of February 19th to the 25th. And we can see these green shadings, which are indicative of the probability of above average rain. The darker the green is, the higher the chance. So within parts of the Caribbean, the Bahamas, near the Turks and Caicos, Lesser Antilles, and even towards parts of southern Central America and northern South America, there could be, there's a greater probability of above average rain, meaning not anything crazy necessarily, but just more than what is typical at this time of year. That's definitely possible for those areas. And then as we head to the week of the 26th of February to the 4th of March, we can see that a few spots within the Caribbean, especially the Greater Antilles, Bahamas, still highlighted within that green shading for that chance of above average rain. Everywhere else, things should be a little bit on the normal side. Nothing crazy is anticipated. So it hasn't been a huge variation, which is also a reason I'm not putting out videos as often, because there isn't anything major going on. But if there is, you guys know I'm going to be keeping you updated as necessary. So that's pretty much what I wanted to bring to your attention, just giving you an update on what's happened over the past day or so in terms of the earthquakes, as I mentioned, and then the weather activity. Nothing too crazy going on. And of course, our rainy season will kickstart in just around 2 months, so things are gonna get wetter in the Caribbean. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely needed though, because many places are really dry, and with that, droughts are here. We have our farmers that may be struggling with the crops, so that's a disadvantage of the dry time. But things are going to be getting on the weather side over the course of the next coming several weeks. But that's it for now, guys, as I mentioned, and I do hope you found this video to be informative. However, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. I'll get to you when I have the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.